Georgia's at? Raise your hand. All right, I got one of my good buddies in Arizona from Gibson, so you probably know him. His name's Jeffrey Tolson. All right, well, he's like 73 years old. He said there's like 500 people in that town, or maybe 1,000.
Jeff Tolson's a guy that JD's been showing me on the road. You know, we have all these hours staring out the windshield, driving from gig to gig, and if someone had routed this tour better, we might have less time behind the windshield. But this is my fault. But you know, JD worked with this guy, this old songwriter guy, spent his whole career doing stuff outside of music, right, JD?
Yeah.
And he just has all these great songs. Jeff Tolson, look him up, good songs. Not everyone gets to spend their whole life doing what they love. There are sacrifices to be made. And reciprocal sacrifices, right, JD? Reciprocal sacrifices. That's a term that JD coined on this run, reciprocal sacrifice. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing, dog. Yeah, we don't all get to do what we love all the time, right? I'm lucky to be out here on the road playing songs for a living. It's my 4th year full-time doing it. We all have things that we look back and think, maybe if I'd done something a little bit different, where my life would be now. If I'd made that decision over the other, if I'd weathered that storm a little bit longer, how different would things be? Sometimes you have to surrender to the rain. I was just a young boy, mason jar in hand, waiting in the front yard for the storm to roll in. No stranger to the thunder, riding on the wind. I never was the brightest child, full enough to understand. Easy way to miss a long shot, it's dropping out of the game. If all you ever do is run and hide, you can't learn from the pain. Some people spend their whole life between the sun and the sycamore shade, but you will never catch lightning till you surrender to the rain. I was dropping out of music school, age 18. I was gonna start a rock and roll band, chasing tail in the dream. Years later, I'm a lonely man, tending bar, serving drinks. Nowadays I switch a kegger out, oh, but you should have heard me sing. Easy way to miss a long shot, it's dropping out of the game. If all you ever do is run and hide, you can't learn from the pain. Some people spend their whole life between the sun and the sycamore shade, but you will never catch lightning till you surrender to the rain. The sunset of your last chance, nearly fading out of view, is tearing you up inside. I know what you're going through. I'm not saying that a better life came up and fall out the blue. I ain't getting any wiser, man, but this I know to be true. Easy way to miss a long shot is dropping out of the game. If all you ever do is running high, you can't learn from the pain. Some people spend their whole life between the sun and the sycamore shade, but you will never catch lightning till you surrender to the rain. You will never catch lightning till you surrender to the rain. Surrender to the rain. Song with a buddy of mine who lives out in Texas, and he was telling me about one of these crazy dance hall shows that he plays out there for hundreds and hundreds of college kids. I don't know what those Texas kids are on, but apparently these shows get a little crazy. And he was telling me about how there was this one night he was playing a dance hall like 400 or 500 college kids outside of College Station. There was this one couple that was just really getting into it all night long. I mean, they were in a bad way, you know. They were having a knockdown, drag out in front of everybody, in front of all their friends. And at the end of the night, before the crowd filed out, there was this couple. They went out into the parking lot, and they really had it out with each other. And in his blind rage, the boyfriend jumps in his truck and peels out of the parking lot. In the process, he backs over his girlfriend. Yeah. So Braxton is telling me this story. My buddy, we're writing this song together, and he's like, yeah, I remember, them setting her on the bar. She was a bloody mess, and they had to life flight her to a nearby hospital. She's in there for a few weeks. And, her boyfriend, they find a couple towns over, and he inevitably turns himself in, and they've got him locked up for a couple weeks as well. This girl, when she miraculously makes a full recovery, and when she gets out of the hospital, the first thing she does is she goes and she bails him out. And Braxton was, he was asking me, and he's like, when's the last time, When do you know it's the last time? How do you get there? That's how the song came about. Monday night, it's 2 a.m. Tommy's out shutting down the bars again. Linda's home waiting on the truck door slam. The threat of leaving in her eyes. They'll dance around the same old charade. He'll say something about him working late when the edge of a bar and a whiskey drink, or all he's been working tonight. He'll say sorry, babe, and apologize. Won't you come back to bed and help me make it right? He swears this'll be the last time. It's the last time, babe, she's heard it before. Walking out of the door, ain't just the man, it's the drink in his hand. She can't fight them both anymore. They'll find happiness here and there. This kind of love ain't what it appears. There's a darkness growing over the years behind the doors of that house, full of broken glass, broken hearts. There's nothing a man won't tear apart. Till Linda's been living with tummy scars, lifetime too long now. He'll probably come on back saying he was drunk. Give me one more shot and I'm sorry, hon. He swears this'll be the last time. It's the last time, babe. She's heard it before 1,000 dang times walking out of the door. Ain't just the man, it's the drink in his hand. She can't fight them both anymore. Now she's windows down, driving away, West Coast bound on that interstate. She swears this'll be the last time. Oh, the last time. Oh. I was right about here when I was writing this song. I took this song home from Texas and had to live with it for a while because it was too tough to write at the time for me and Braxton. I was writing it at my wife's house that she was running out in Raleigh, North Carolina. We lived there for a couple of years. My wife was a travel nurse for many, many years. I'd get off the road for a couple weeks at a time and I'd go to wherever she was. Seattle, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, Arizona, all over. And she had this great house that she was living in outside of Raleigh, with a great living room that led out to a big old backyard and a deck with some glass sliding doors in between. And I spent a lot of time the last couple of years writing on that couch. I was working on the song. I was right about here. I remember yelling back at my wife because she has a little office in the back of that house. The hallway would, snake behind the couch in the living room to the bedroom and her office. She'd listen to me write songs all day. I yelled back, "What do you think, babe?" I think the song's just about done. Linda has escaped her abuser. She's found her independence. She's relishing it. She doesn't ever have to go back to that sack of shit anymore. And she yells back, "Not good enough." She's always been my best critic. She yells, "Not good enough. That son of a bitch needs to die." Yeah, it's not a country song until someone's dead or murdered. So this is what I came up with for the last verse. I kind of let time do its thing. 10 years to the day Linda's driving back through. Scars are covered up in flyer tattoos. Both the house and the man she once knew, buried in a hole in the ground. She pulls around that old brick church, barely dodging a grave of unmarked dirt. She cusses his name without saying a word. Top gear and out of town. But some folks fly and some folks drown. Sometimes the world tries to get you down till you say, this'll be the last time. Oh, the last time. Oh. Last time.
If you don't think that's a good song, we can't be friends. I can hear you guys sitting out there.